Oldham County Fiscal Court. I'm David Vogel, Judge Executive. Happy to have all of you here for our meeting today, August 5th, 2025. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I ask Holly to please call the roll.
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Woosley.
Here.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Hawkins.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Present.
Magistrate Logston. And Judge Vogel.
Here, having all members of the Fiscal Court, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
Second.
Are there any additions or deletions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we had on the agenda, we were sort of expecting the new superintendent of Oldham County Schools to be here today, but apparently something interfered with her schedule, so we'll go on to our first item, which is public comment. Is there anybody here who would like to address the fiscal court? Well,
Me first.
okay.
Hi, everybody. I guess you guys already know I will be.
Who are you and where you live?
I'm not telling you that now. I'm moving. Jay McDowell, Oldham County. I'll be stepping away from my role as media director for the county. So I just wanted to say a few things to you guys. When we started this, we created a program that's lasted 12 years. We've produced more than 2,000 shows and videos, modernized the county's media and technology, even during a global pandemic. You guys all remember that? A little bit of fun. We built something truly meaningful, I think. Together we helped give Oldham County a voice, and I'm proud to have been part of the story. To Judge Vogel and the magistrates, and my fellow county employees, thank you. Your trust and support have meant the world to me. I also wanted to thank Oldham County Chamber of Commerce, especially David Bazanis and his incredible team, for their sponsorship and partnership and collaboration over the years. A special shout out to my amazing parade co-hosts, Bill Schneider and Ann Brown. Without you guys, the parade would not have been the highlight of my year every year. A special thank you to Joe and Rodney in maintenance, my roommates for the last few years. They've helped me on many, many projects, and the county has no idea how much work these guys put in on a day-to-day basis. Their effort and pride and behind-the-scenes hustle make much of what we do possible, and they deserve a lot of credit. To the production crews that I've worked with through the years, thank you for your talent, dedication, and friendship. None of this would have been possible without you. And here's an important fact. One thing we've proven between all of us is conservatives and liberals can work together. As you all know, I am the only open liberal in this county. But when we focused on serving the community and not politics, it worked. I have nothing but good memories with all of you. This wasn't an easy decision, but it's time to return home to West Virginia to be closer to family and friends and to begin a new chapter. I've accepted a position as a news director for WOWK in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm excited to finish my career doing what I love while cheering on my beloved Thundering Herd. Go Herd. To those who stood by me through life's highs and lows, divorces, deaths, and all the curveballs in between, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'll miss my Louisville friends and family very deeply. And just to be clear, I'm quitting, I'm not retiring. So you can't make me come back. But like my daughter Macy wisely says, never pass up an opportunity. So thank you all so much. It's been a fun ride. Please keep what we built going. I don't want to have to come back in 6 months. But I really appreciate it. I love everybody, and I'll miss you all. Thanks.
Well, Jay McDowell has done a great job for us over the last 12 years that he has been here. I believe we have, in addition to these meetings of the Fiscal Court, the Planning Commission, Board of Adjustment, we've produced, I believe, about 2,000 videos, everything from parades to Memorial Day services to Oldham County Day, Project Guild events. We've done a lot of things across the county, and I think our, of course, everybody has their own particular favorite thing that happened, and Jay knows what mine was. There was a part, well, you said parade, but a few years ago there was a song called Happy that was out, and I encouraged him to go around and to get pictures of all of our employees and other people in the community, and we put that together to the music Happy, and I think we quickly had a couple thousand views on it. He was kind of shocked. He didn't want to do it, but he did it, and it was fun, and I still enjoy looking at it every now and then. So we wish you the best of luck in your new facility and over in West Virginia. We'll miss you and look forward to hearing more about your success in the years to come. And so thank you very much for your service here. All right, thank you. All right, sir, we'll go on with public comment now.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Louis Knupp. I'm a resident of LaGrange here, and I've got 2 sons in Locust Grove Elementary, which is in part the reason I'm coming to speak to you all as leaders of the county, as well as to anybody who is a resident of the county listening in today. We love the schools here in Oldham County. We moved here for the schools specifically. Prior to this, we lived in Louisville. We've got a son who was in need of some extra support. The IEP program at Locust Grove has been absolutely amazing, and I couldn't say anything better if I tried about the administration, the staff, and the teachers of Locust Grove Elementary. I never anticipated a need to be concerned about potential opening of the doors of our public schools here in Oldham County to religious instruction, which is an issue I want to raise today. Now, to be clear, there's a Supreme Court decision back in 1952 that says release time instruction is legal in the United States. There's precedent for this, so the argument here today is not whether or not there's legality around this. But what I do want to highlight, and I want to make sure the leadership of this county and the residents of this county are abundantly clear on, is that it is not something that we have to allow, and allowing it is an open choice. And if we do allow it, we are opening ourselves up to being liable to the establishment and equal protection clauses, because at that point you have to have a non-discriminatory policy in place to allow equal, non-discriminatory acceptance of any religious or moral institution to come in for least time instruction. For folks who are not aware of what I'm talking about, LifeWise came and spoke at a recent school board meeting. This is the first I'd heard of LifeWise. I reached out and tried to do some investigation, and there were definitely some things that were personally concerning to me. Now, I recognize I may be in the minority here in this county on that, which again is why this argument is not necessarily about which religious group comes in to speak at Oldham County Public Schools. But I do want to be incredibly clear that especially from a fiscal responsibility standpoint, we need to make sure that whatever decision the school board and county leadership comes to on this, we are going into with open eyes. I'm personally disappointed that the superintendent wasn't able to make the meeting today. I very much would have liked the opportunity to speak to her in person, and I hope that opportunity comes up at some point in the future and get her comment on this. I have been emailing the superintendent as well as the school board, and unfortunately it's progressed to the point where to get any answers, I now have several pending open records requests. I'm hoping that I will get responses back to those open records requests within the 5 business days allotted by Kentucky law. And I want to again highlight from a fiscal responsibility standpoint to the leadership of this county that open records requests are not something to be taken lightly. I've unfortunately run into a situation on a prior open records request that is now currently pending appeal with the Attorney General of the state of Kentucky. And I'm hopeful that this will not come to that same situation. I just want to wrap up by reminding folks that ultimately the leadership here is in a servant position to the residents of this county. LifeWise managed to collect 200 signatures. We don't know if those signatures were from residents or not in support of the program. There's a competing form out there that has now collected, last I checked, over 700 and has been posted for less than 48 hours against allowing LifeWise or release time instruction to Oldham County Public Schools. Thank you all for the time. Please give this careful consideration, and I've got a feeling that the next school board meeting will have very high attendance from the residents of this county. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to speak during open comment here? Pardon? Okay.
My name is Robin Vessels. I live at 1320 Bluegrass Parkway in Oldham County. I want to speak regarding a few of the proposed appointments that appear later on in the agenda. The first one I want to discuss is the Planning Commission appointment for Charles Skip Miller. His appointment letter shows a P.O. box as his address. Of course, a person does not live at a P.O. box, and research was done to verify that he does live in Oldham County. I would ask that his appointment letter show his physical address. The second appointment I wish to discuss is that of Jade Peterson to the Oldham County Tourism Board. The first issue is there is not a board called Oldham County Tourism Board. There is an Oldham County Tourist and Convention Commission that was established by Ordinance KOC 14-450-453 in June of 2014. That ordinance says that board members shall be residents of Oldham County. The appointment letter clearly shows that he lives in Louisville. Louisville is in Jefferson County, not Oldham County. And further research does verify that Mr. Peterson lives in Jefferson County and is therefore not eligible to be appointed to this board. I find it rather disconcerting that this information was not vetted before the appointment letter was prepared. The correct name of the board and the qualifications for serving as a member. In other words, the appointment letter should not even have come before you at all. The name of the commission would be easy enough to correct in the appointment letter. However, the address situation concerns me, as I must now wonder how many other boards and commissions have members that may not actually live in Oldham County, because somebody somewhere dropped the ball and failed to do the proper vetting. I would ask that this proposed appointment be withdrawn. I would also like to speak against Bob Dye's being reappointed to the OLDA board. It's nothing personal, Mr. Dye. My reason for this request is that a motion had been made for a 150-day moratorium regarding applications for data centers within Oldham Reserve. His motion, the motion died for a lack of a second, and it was not even brought up for discussion, as nobody would second that motion. Based upon the lack of action by Mr. Dye, I would request that his appointment to the OLDA board not be approved. Thank you for your consideration.
Yeah, I'm going to just address a couple of things you said there. One, Mr. Peterson's name has been withdrawn. We're going to work on the Tourism Commission recommendations and ability to serve on the Tourism Commission. We don't have but a few hotels in this town or in this county. We have, an issue with getting people to serve on the commission who are actually involved in tourism. People that own hotels put managers on here, but most of the managers are not let's say, a background in tourism. Mr. Peterson is a person that runs a distillery in the only distillery in our county. That distillery attracts a lot of visitors. We have a problem balancing out people to be on this board who are actually engaged in tourism in the county. So we're going to address that and go back and look at revisiting that ordinance and making it a little wider as far as participation goes. It's been an ongoing problem for a number of years, and Mr. Peterson was recommended by Kim Buckler, who has done a great job with our Oldham County Tourism Program, and certainly has an ear close to the ground on who might be most successful and useful in serving on that board. So we'll, we're going to review that, and we did withdraw him. So that's the only comments I have to make about Mr. Peterson there. Is there anybody else who would like to address the fiscal court here?
Hi, Sarah Little, live in the city of LaGrange. What I wanted to bring forward is not specifically addressing any appointment. What it is addressing is that as the member of any board or any elected official, you guys all have a duty to be challenging your legal counsel. And I don't mean saying that you're better than them or that you know something that they don't know. What I'm saying is ask questions. If somebody, say Mr. Adamson, as the legal counsel of Oldham, is telling you that a moratorium cannot be enacted, ask some questions, because there's nothing in the contract and there's nothing in the statutes that says that. So had anybody at that meeting spoken up and said, where are you getting that information? Can you give me more? Can you prove this? We might not be having a discussion about any of the appointees. So please, just use your common sense. Ask some questions. Challenge stuff. We've put you guys up there as elected officials. You guys get appointed to things. Use that responsibility, please, to ask questions. In addition, Mr. Dye, I have a feeling you'll probably be reconfirmed. Congratulations. What I would ask is, please get those meetings publicly streamed. I know that that was asked at the last meeting. There hasn't been any movement. I asked for it again last night, and I'm hoping that Mr. Stewart did hear those concerns. Please, get those live streamed. People here, it's hard enough to make a 2 o'clock in the afternoon appointment or meeting. Sometimes the 8 o'clock works better. But if you guys could make sure that those get televised, that'd be great. And I'm speaking specifically to you because you're the one who's going to have the communication with the Oldham board. Those are my main points, is that we want transparency. We want fiscal responsibility. Yes, fiscal responsibility means that you listen to the legal counsel. It also means you challenge it. You ask questions, you find out more. So I would ask that all of you take your elected official appointment very seriously and ask those questions. Challenge what's out there so that you don't have people upset, so that we know that you're working in our best interest and that you're being transparent with everything that's going on. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else?
Good afternoon, everybody. Dana Rich, LaGrange, Kentucky. I was at the meeting last night, city council meeting, and I just wanted to ditto every single thing Sarah just said. Robin also had some great points, and I just wanted to make sure that she was recognized for that. The other thing that I would also like to talk about just a little bit differently is, again, Mr. Dye, your reappointment, I'm sure, is forthcoming. As Sarah mentioned, congratulations for that. The other thing that I would like to mention is that now that WHP, at least as far as we all know, have left Oldham County, there should not be any reason why Oldham couldn't come forth with another moratorium motion. And I would recommend that whether Mr. Kamer does it, maybe consider a second on that now that we're not in any concern about any legal issues or getting sued, unless there is something that I don't know about. Just wanted to ask you directly, Mr. Dye, if you would consider, if somebody put forth that motion, if you would please consider seconding it this time so that we can all be on the same page, fiscal court, city council, and Oldham. Let's all work in cooperation and partnership with one another instead of being adversaries. I think that that would go a really long way towards healing some of the rifts and the divisiveness, whatever, that we have experienced in our amazing county since this unfortunate news broke in March. As a side note, Judge Vogel, you did mention something to me on social media recently about potentially coming to speak with you. I am absolutely glad that you asked, and I am looking forward to doing that. I will hopefully see you soon in your office. Have a wonderful day.
That'd be fine. Is there anybody else who would like to address the fiscal court? All right, seeing no one, we'll close public comment, and we'll...
Judge. Superintendent.
I see that.
Okay.
Thank you. I've noticed that our new superintendent of schools, Claudette Harold, has arrived here. Would you like to come on forward, Ms. Harold? And right, we're happy
Good afternoon.
to welcome you today to Oldham County Fiscal Court.
Thank you.
Our meetings here are, meetings like the school board too. I don't know.
Feel it. I feel it already.
Right, and you did miss one person who was right before you addressed the
I heard a little bit of it.
that's coming up to the school board.
Yes.
So, but welcome, and please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Thank you. I'll apologize for running late. We have been with our bus drivers this morning and then again this afternoon for their 8-hour update, and was able to be a part of a mock bus crash with our local responders, being able to get training in with us and do that in collaboration. So been a busy day with that, but just want to say thank you for having me. I'm very excited about being the superintendent of Oldham County Schools. A little bit about myself, and won't take long. I have 23 years of educational experience, have spent more years being a leader, and very proud of the work that I've done coming from Grant County. I have 2 boys. My oldest, Lincoln, just graduated high school and will be attending the University of Kentucky, where he will run track and cross country. And then my youngest, Luke, will be enrolled and is enrolled here at Oldham County High School. He will start school with the rest of us next week, and will be a sophomore there. Really excited for my family to move in. Everyone in this community has made us feel so welcome already. And it's been very fast-paced, but so exciting about the work that Oldham County was doing way before I started this job. And so to get to be a part of it, and be a part of the work that our teachers and our staff and our principals do on a daily basis has been rewarding so far. So thank you for having me.
Well, we're very happy to have you. And does any member have any questions or anything they'd like to ask? Did you say I might have missed where you said you were before you came here?
I worked 22 years in Grant County, which is northern Kentucky. A year before that, I was in Nicholas County, but I was born and raised in Washington County, little area called Springfield.
Right. Well, we
Hold dear to it.
Well, that's great. Well, you already realize that the school system here is our one of our gems in the community. And,
Absolutely.
Many people have been attracted to our school system, and we have a lot of great supporters in our school system, and we want it to prosper and do well.
Absolutely.
And, you can count on the fiscal court to be among the supporters of the school
Great.
system.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just want to say welcome to Oldham County.
Thank you.
I got some friends of yours up in Grant County, the Mark Kinsey and some of his family.
Absolutely.
And spoke very highly of you.
Well, thank you.
Look forward to working with you here. And
Thank you.
I've helped to do the long-term planning with the school board for a while, and so
Great.
that's been a good process, and got some good folks in the county school system here.
Absolutely. They've been wonderful.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
How are we doing on bus drivers? Do you have enough this year, or are we?
I think we're in pretty good shape.
Okay.
And they were really excited about the training this morning and how relevant it was. And just got to eat lunch with them a little earlier. And so they're ready to go. They're a great group.
Great. Well, that's great. We appreciate those people that get up in the morning
Yes,
and get
absolutely.
that job done.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much
Thanks.
for coming. All right. We go on now with the next item on our agenda, and that's the bills to be paid. When you're ready, we'll take a motion.
Judge, I'll make a motion, we pay the payables.
Second.
Any questions on the bills? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, under community business, the first reading of a proposed zoning map amendment for Chateau Charisse. And I'll ask Anna Barge to lead us through the beginning of this public hearing.
Anna Barge, Senior Planner.
Just first reading, I'm sorry.
Yes, this is just the first reading today. A lot of people know Chateau Cerise as Cherry House. It was the former Cherry House Furniture location. So they are doing a rezoning from C1 to C4. They went to Planning Commission in April and May, and the Fiscal Court recommended, the Planning Commission recommended approval in May, and we did not have a meeting in June, so they could not come to Fiscal Court until those meeting minutes got approved in July. So now they're here in August for that first reading, and you'll hear my formal presentation and see my staff report and all that for the next meeting.
All right, thank you. Contracts and resolutions, Southern Health Partners. Stan Clark is not here. Jeff Tyndall, our jailer. Would you like to discuss the contract with Southern Health Partners?
Good afternoon, Fiscal Court. I'm here to, Jailer Jeff Tyndall, I'm here to present the contract for Southern Health Partners and asking for it to be approved. This year, we just received an increase of 1.8%. Last year, it was a 4% increase at $784,715 due to reducing the mental health hours this year from 40 to 16. I got it reduced from 784, 715 to 745, $989. So I'm just asking the fiscal court to approve me to have our 26th year of Southern Health Partners. We have a staff of 6 staff members, 1 full-time MTA, 2 day shift nurses, 2 night shift nurses, and an admin nurse. I still have a mental health nurse that comes in twice a week for 8 hours a day. But she is, we've reduced the number from 40 to 16. I was trying to bring the cost of mental health hours was costing us quite a bit of money. So I'm trying to save the county money. I'm trying to save our budget, and this is what we've come up with.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? Public Safety Committee looked at this.
Second.
The daily rate is went from at a 300 inmates or more. They were charging $1.49. I talked them down into 75 cents a day.
No, this isn't
food. This is medical. We're not going through the food. I do. Yes, I do all.
I'll second his motion, please.
All right. Motion and second. Is there any further discussions on this contract? Magistrate Hawkins.
This is unrelated, but I didn't want you to walk away without me asking how the opioid reduction stuff is going. So maybe you can address that after we vote.
We're still working on it.
Okay.
In the last 2 weeks ago we had our very first client. He did 3 days of treatment. After the first 30 minutes of being hooked up, he said it was the easiest detox that he's ever been on. He said we literally saw him shaking and having sweats to go from absolutely nothing. He was on the treatment for 3 days, and they felt like it was time to pull him off. And he's always been on Suboxone and needed that Suboxone. And in the last 2 weeks, he hasn't had a single dose of Suboxone or anything. So as of right now, it's easy because the drugs aren't inside of our facility. The big test is when he gets outside on the street, when he's released. But as of right now, he's a total changed person. So
We talked about I'm not trying to get into the weeds on this right now, but in our opioid abatement committee.
Yes, ma'am.
About the follow-up then, like actually addressing some of the trauma that sort of led down the path that some of these folks are in. And you were talking about
Originally,
that
the
too?
study, when they first got this approved by the FDA, the study, they did follow that. Now, it's so hard to keep track of these people that are getting put on the program because they have to report somewhere. I've actually had a meeting with Oldham County Health Department one morning, and they want to help me track more. So as far as Oldham County is concerned, I've been in front of Henry County and Trimble County Fiscal Court. I'm hoping they use some of their opioid abatement money for this. Right now, I can only track what Oldham County does, but he has not been released yet, so he's easy to keep track of. But in the future, with the director of Oldham County Health Department, he has shown a lot of interest in this. He's going to help me, and hopefully this is something that we'll be able to track better, especially with my inmates that are coming through the facility. So at this time, we're just at one person, but we want this to continue.
We vote on this, Judge, and then go back to that.
Yeah.
Good,
Oh,
thank
sorry.
you. Thank
Sorry.
you.
I have,
All right,
I have a question real quick on this.
About the contract
Yes.
or about the?
About the
opioid?
contract.
Or contract, okay.
Jeff, the only thing I saw here was on the effective date, July 1st, 2025, being this is August 5th, is this retroactive or?
It's retroactive. I told them that I wasn't going to be able to get in here till today. So we're using last year's numbers, but they're going to reverse. Since it's a lower cost, they're going to lower our.
So the cost will go down for this month and
Correct.
5 days or whatever.
Yes, sir.
So, okay.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions on the contract for Southern Health Partners? We've got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, now we'll go back to the, any question about the
Yeah.
opioid treatment. Go ahead. Magistrate Hound.
That was all really, is just interested in follow-up for him or anybody else, like the next people in line that go ahead and take the treatment to kind of combat
in the
some
2
of the.
weeks that we've had this, we have a net recovery specialist that comes in every day to see if we have anybody from the night before that's been arrested that needs to go on the treatment. What we've ran into is people are getting released before they start the treatment, or there's a couple of things. If you have seizures, that you can't be on something that with the seizures. So we're trying to make sure that anybody that wants the treatment is going to stick around. Something that I did learn, that this opioid abatement money isn't just used in the jail. So Oldham County has this. We've used our opioid abatement money. If it is somebody that truly wants the net recovery program, they don't have to go to jail to get it. Nobody wants to go out and commit crimes so they can be put on this net recovery. They can actually report to Isaiah House, call Isaiah House and say they would like to volunteer to be put on this, and they will do the evaluation instead of the jail doing the evaluation. So.
Right, Magistrate Hounds.
You made a comment about Oldham County inmates. So I guess the differentiation is if we get a Trimble County inmate, then we're not doing it.
Correct. That's why I've went, and it's been a busy month with net recovery. I have went and spoken with the judge executive and his chief judge executive over the last month, and I went to Trimble County Fiscal Court to talk to Judge Ogborn and his fiscal court 2 weeks ago, and I am trying to get them to use some of their opioid abatement money, because right now, if you're an Oldham County inmate, Oldham County inmates are the only ones that are able to do this. So if you're a Henry County inmate, it's you may want it, but Henry County doesn't have the funds. They haven't agreed to the net recovery system. So right now it's just with Oldham County, but due to the fact that I house Oldham or Henry County and Trimble County inmates, I want them to have the ability too. We also house for Scott County. Well, Scott County Jail has this treatment. They were the first jail in the country to have this treatment, and they've had 35 people that have used the net device, and so far they've been able to get a hold of the 26 out of the 35, 27 of the 35, and 26 of them are still drug free. So I don't know what the number is up until the 35, but these are the people that are either still in jail or they've gotten a hold of. So I think it's beneficial for the surrounding counties, because I don't want it. I've seen drug problems all across the counties in our Commonwealth, and I want to see success stories and not failures. So that's why I'm going to the other courts too.
Anyone else? All right, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate you.
I might mention, since we're talking about drugs here, that Fiscal Court has agreed to participate in a regional drug task force with about 6 other counties, I believe, is the number we have in there. And we're not only trying to treat people, but trying to just stop the flow of drugs and drug activity in Oldham County and the other counties up I-71. Next item on the agenda here has to do with Allen Lane realignment, a cost increase here. County Engineer Jim Sullivan.
Good afternoon. So what this is in regard to is we were recently made aware of a need for a cost increase in the design phase for the Allen Lane realignment and railroad underpass project, primarily resulting from continued review and coordination with CSX. As you're aware, the CSX railroad has to be realigned when this overpass is built and then put back on its existing tracks. And so there's been significant coordination with CSX to make sure their current requirements are addressed. The amount is in $150,000. The understanding the previous commitments for fiscal court having a 20% match in this, that would result in $130,000 in federal funds and about $30,000 in fiscal court money. We unfortunately weren't aware of this when we were working on the fiscal year 26 budget, so it's not in the budget, but I do think there are other line items that we could budget or balance to create this amount. So what I'm asking for right now is fiscal court's concurrence to commit to this $30,000 match so that we can continue with KIPTA to ensure the federal funds and move forward with this project and get it completed as soon as possible.
Judge,
Sir.
with that, I would like to move that we approve the $30,000 increase because of the CSX additional requirements. This is a project along with 393 that's is been stretched out here a lot longer than we were all hoping for. So I never like to see an increase, but with what CSX the extra requirements that were put in place, I'll move that we approve the additional $30,000 match, the 20% match, to get this project hopefully where they can start construction early in 26.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Was there any discussion about this? Magistrate Woosley?
Mr. Stillman, I just want to make sure I understand this. So overall, there's a $150,000 increase to the project for the design. 120 of that comes from the federal government, 30 comes from match.
That's correct.
Match. Okay.
And Jim, would you like to go through the timeline for the initiation and the progress of this long-awaited project?
Yes, well, I won't go back to the original timeline.
Well,
but
forget about what's the last 10 years, but what's
that's
going
under 20
forward
years. We were also made aware recently that so the intent had been for Allen Lane to be let for construction in July of 2025. Obviously, it's August. We've missed that. That has surpassed. And the 393 alignment, which is a realignment, which is a similar project, an underpass and realignment of that road, was going to be let about a year later. The leadership in Frankfurt has reviewed these two projects and have made us aware that what they'd like to do now is let both projects at the same time in October of this year. So it means that Allen Lane is pushed forward a little bit, and 393 will be accelerated. And we're going to continue to coordinate with the project manager at KYTC to see how this affects the potential maintenance of traffic and other concerns as this project is constructed.
One that will allay the fears, I don't think both these underpasses will be done at the same time. I don't.
We need to coordinate with them and make sure that the impact is as minimal as possible.
They can bid them out, but to get them done at the same time will be a nightmare. Okay, Magistrate Howland.
Jim, I'd ask that you get with Stan and Pat so we can figure out where this is going to come from and get it marked so
Sure.
we don't have this issue towards the end of the year when we're trying to do budget amendments to fill this gap. The other thing is are we, I guess in years past, are we looking at any other cost increase? I mean, I know your crystal ball may have a crack in it, but it just seems like a lot of these projects we keep coming up and, at the 11th hour, Belinda used to bring them to us. Hey, here's another 15,000, here's another 30,000. That's a trend we're going to see going forward?
So in most projects, yes, I think that's a trend that we'll constantly experience because you're dealing with inflation, material costs, increasing standards. But this project, we should not, because Oldham County is not responsible for the right-of-way, utility, or construction phases. So we've also seen a significant increase in the construction costs, but we're not asking you for approval of that because the state and the federal money is supporting that.
Our 80% is only for design.
This project,
okay,
your commitment is only for design. We're at the very end of it. Again, it should be let in October, so this should really wrap it up.
Magistrate Hawkins.
This says KIPTA. Is the money going to go to KIPTA?
Well, so KIPTA helps administer this. It's federal funds that, for the design phase, the way it operates is Oldham County Fiscal Court pays the consultant the full amount and then is reimbursed 80%.
Would you tell us the result if we vote against this today?
That would be a difficult thing to answer, but it's significant. It's significant because we would have to discuss with KIPTA and KYTC, does this stall or stop the project? And if so, if you don't continue with the project, is fiscal court responsible for paying back all the other federal funds? So that's a potential.
Yeah, you know what that sounds like? A little bit. Sounds a little bit like blackmail, if you ask me.
Well, not necessarily, because we're really benefiting from, you're looking at a $25 million project once everything's done, and fiscal court's been responsible for 20% of design only, which is maybe $220,000. So it's quite a bargain, I think.
I don't disagree. I just don't like when these things get brought back to us and now they've increased. I know.
Years.
They've been doing that. That doesn't make me feel more comfortable about
and
it
again,
or happy about it.
We're asking for more money, but at the same time, there's a significant increase, nearly $11 million in the construction phase that is not being borne by the county. And this project is moving forward. So I think we're trying to be a team player here.
We're asking for this project to be finished.
Right.
We can't finish until it starts. Magistrate Dye, did you have something?
This is a long time coming for both of these projects, but I don't think that the engineer's office budget should be clipped for the $30,000. I think that I don't think he should be held. There's other projects that $30,000 was going to cover. I think this is one where the court's going to just have to chuck it up and pay the $30,000. Let these other projects that people have been waiting on. I know $30,000 in the scheme of things is not a lot on road work, but I don't think you need to be clipping something off the other end.
Well, we'll find it somewhere.
Until we look into. I mean, we just found out. I mean, I just found
Figure it
out
out
this
at parks.
on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, in the budget, the transportation projects are actually a separate group than engineering or planning and zoning, and all of our KYTC and capital improvement road projects are in that group. We could get it from
So-
balancing that or others.
I think over the years I've been on the finance committee, we're under 60% of the spend in that category, and there's money in there, and that's probably where it should come out of.
That's where we'll look first.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Manager Jeffries.
Just one thing to follow up on that. A lot of this delay it can be attributed to CSX. I mean, they're the kind of the controlling agency here because they have to sign off, and so they've extended this project, both 393 and Allen Lane, a lot farther out than what we had hoped for. And with inflation that's been going on with the steel prices and whatever, it's just it's inevitable that these costs have gone up. Now, I don't like to have to pay an extra $30,000, but as it's been pointed out, that's a small portion of the project for Allen Lane, and we need to get get that project underway and get it completed so we can get traffic better controlled and handled in this LaGrange Buckner area. So,
yes, sir.
All right, we've got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item here is the fire alarm monitoring contract for the new courthouse. Kevin, I believe, has something there. And
Good afternoon. It's been a while. So before you is a contract for fire alarm monitoring at the new AOC building. The system has been installed and is ready to be activated. It was bid out by Weir Constructors under the electrical package for the building. But Everon, the company that installed it, needs to have the owner's signature, which is Oldham County Fiscal Court, owner of the building, before they can actually turn on the monitoring system. There's no charge. The charge was built into the installation and purchase of the system. So for 1 year, there is no charge. At the end of the year, we can choose to renew with Everon, or we can go elsewhere for the monitoring. But they can't start it until we sign the contract.
Judge, I'll make the motion that we approve the fire alarm monitoring contract for the new courthouse.
I'll second.
all right. Matt, you have a discussion there? Okay,
yeah.
comment?
I got one.
I found it interesting, and I saw this
You wouldn't want that to burn
link,
down.
is who they're going to use for the cell service. I don't know why they don't have it connected just to regular cell. So my question is, and you probably don't know the answer, which is fine, does that mean we're going to have to continue the Starlink contract going forward? Because if we change vendors, the vendors that I know around here, most of them are still using 4G cell service, not Starlink.
I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, it was a general comment.
Judge.
Magistrate Likens.
Thank you. I did not see Barry Baxter's sign off on this, and our representative here, Matt Hudson, has an email from Barry Baxter. I'll let him read it to us, please.
Good afternoon. I'm just sitting in for Mr. Baxter today, but he did not have a chance to put his signature on the contract, but he does say that it looks fine from his point of view.
Ed, is your mic on? Is your mic on?
Yes, it's on.
This contract didn't come in until late Friday afternoon, so that's why it wasn't with the rest of the exhibits. We weren't even aware of it till late Friday afternoon.
No, we don't want to burn
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second on the floor here to go forward with Everon at no charge. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Personnel items. Now we mentioned earlier that the first item here is accepting the resignation of Jay McDowell from our cultural programs and video department here. Jay's done a great job for us for 11 years, and we heard him earlier in the meeting. I know he's parting is such sweet sorrow, someone once said, and I know he feels that way. He's sorry to leave, but happy to go on to an exciting new opportunity for him. And I know he's got one daughter going to Marshall in Charleston, so I think that's obviously a part of his decision to go that way as well. So, Jay, thank you very much for everything you've done. You've been a great asset to fiscal court and will be very hard to replace, that's for sure. Now I'd like to go on with the other appointments here. First of all, to the Oldham LaGrange Development Authority, I'd like to reappoint Bob Dye for a term to expire July 16th, 2029.
I'll make that motion, Judge.
I'll second that.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Abstain.
Thank you. Next, to the Board of Adjustments and Appeals, Laura Tapp to fulfill the unexpired term of Larry Otterbach. This term will go on to January 17th of 2028. I think most of us here know Laura from the Pregnancy Resource Center. You may not know that Laura has a law degree from the University of Louisville. So, although she's not practicing law, she is a licensed attorney, I believe. So, all in favor, please. Is there a motion on that? Did we get one?
I'll make the motion, Judge.
Second.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. And finally, to the Planning Commission, I'd like to appoint Charles Skip Miller lives in Crestwood here to a term to expire September 5th of 2027. He's fulfilling the unexpired term of Rollo Fox, who had to leave the board for medical reasons. So,
Judge, I'll move that we appoint Charles Skip Miller to fulfill the unexpired term of Rollo Fox to expire 9/5/27.
Second.
all right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. At this point, I think we'll go into, I'd like to recommend we go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810, subsection B, regarding deliberations on the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency. So, is there a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And we'll have Valerie Lamline join us at this executive session.
Judge, can we get a picture with Jay
Pardon?
before he leaves, before we go in?
Okay, Brent. Yes, sir. Wait a minute, where's Holland? We're not quite ready yet. Is there a motion? We go back into session, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, I want to make a motion that we authorize you to make an offer to buy an undisclosed piece of property.
Second.
All right. Motion made for me to buy negotiate to buy an unclosed, disclosed piece of property. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now we're at our second public comment. Is there anyone here who would like to address the fiscal court at this point?
Rob Houchins, 1400 Yeager Lane. I want to come before you, and I think many of you, not maybe all of you by any sense, were at North Oldham High School approximately 15 years ago when I stood in front of them and talked to a large crowd that was talking about what happens with addiction and how my family had been impacted with my daughter actually being held down and injected with heroin. And all the troubles and all the issues today, I'm very happy to report that she is a productive member of Oldham County and that she's someone I'm proud of and has fought the issues that have gone with addiction. I can tell you that I remember afterwards very vividly how Barry Baxter came and spoke to me and said, wow, I had no idea you were dealing with all that and all the issues that came with that. Why do I bring that up? Is because Jeff Tyndall stood before you today, and I want you to know that the program that he's working on, I can't say that I know all the details and everything, but I tell you, I've been trying to dig into it and find out more about. Because I believe whether it's the drug problem or the crime problem, the two are so linked that it's hard to say anything but that they are linked. I also want you to know that he took me through and was able to show me everything that he's doing there and how he's respecting people. And he talked about the people that were under his care. And that's how he referred to it. I was very impressed with what he did. And I know you guys all voted for trying to figure out how to take this new treatment program and how to serve the people. And fact that Jeff shared that he was going and talking to other counties of people that were under his care and how he could potentially affect those people's lives. And as you know, if you've got someone in your family who's been part of an addiction problem, that those effects are not just on the person, but all the mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and any kids, unfortunately, in some circumstances. So I just want you to know that I was super impressed with Jeff, and I'm very pleased that you guys are participating in this program that may be groundbreaking, and it may be making a huge difference to the people that have committed crimes in our county, and they're doing it voluntarily, and I know you had to commit resources to that, but it was sobering yet pleasing to see that he cared for the people that were under his care. And I applaud the effort because he could just say, no, I don't need to go speak to another county about what's going on there. but it's making a difference. And I can tell you that years ago, people that helped serve my daughter, it made a difference to my family. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else here today who'd like to address the fiscal court? All right, seeing no one, we'll close public comment and go on to the conclusion of today's meeting. See if any of our magistrates have any final thoughts. Magistrate Logston?
Yes, a couple things. Want to say Pee Wee Valley had a successful summer picnic this past weekend. Good crowd. Weather finally calmed down, so it was a very nice, cool night once the sun went down. I want to thank Pee Wee Valley Fire Department for cooking the hot dogs and hamburgers, or brats and hamburgers. It was a great event. A lot of social people there. And I also want to, I know I'm glad that you started with me, because when you get through 8 people, it doesn't mean as much. But Jay, I know you're listening. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you've done to Oldham County. You've helped us out tremendously. It's going to be real hard to replace you. I'm sorry you're leaving. We've been great friends. We didn't really think politically a lot, but we never did bring it up. So that made us good friends, I think. So thank you so much, buddy.
Right, Bob Dye.
Jay, I just want to tell you one thing, that don't wear that OCTV shirt the first day on the job at the new place, okay? The thing is, school will be starting here pretty soon, so everybody be careful out there, because the kids are going to be at the bus stop. Of course, now it's darker down, lighter later, and all that. So just slow down, be careful, and look both ways, like your kids are doing.
Right, Magistrate Hawkins.
Those are both the same exact 2 things I was going to say, so I'll just say ditto if that's okay.
Magistrate Hounds.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to reiterate some of the same stuff that others have said about Jay. It's been a pleasure to work with him, and we've bounced ideas off each other, and he said, no, that's not going to work, or that will work. We had a discussion one time about a wireless mouse so we could control the machine from up here instead of having to send somebody down. I think we got the mouse, we used it twice. But it was a good idea when we came up with it. And to what Magistrate Dye said about the school starting, so it's not just the school buses that are out there, it's also the new drivers that are taking their first trip to high school, or maybe taking the younger brothers and sisters to school. So be careful of the new drivers. Increase your level of patience. And I don't think Oldham County has it yet, but I know Bullitt County, they actually have on the cameras on the buses. When the stop sign goes out, the cameras start recording, and the Sheriff's Department is going to be writing tickets to people that are going around the stop sign on the school buses, and I think that that's both good and bad. Walkers, there's a lot of people that are walking, and as a person who has a relatively new driver, I tell my son to make sure they see you when you're going to pass them or whatever, but when you're walking with traffic and your back's to the car that's coming at you, you can't see what the driver's doing. If you walk against traffic, then you can see what the driver's getting ready to do, and you can take evasive action, to take some words from Stan Clark, and get off the roadway. So just, if you're walking, try to walk against traffic so you can see that the driver that's coming at you, and you can have a better idea of what maneuvers that you have to make. Thank you.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Yes, I'd like to just reiterate too, Jay, I got to work with him when I was chairman of the Planning Commission before I got elected as a magistrate, and he's just been outstanding. I mean, I would call him and say, hey, the mics aren't working, or there's feedback, or, the camera angles weren't good. And he was always, right on it, or had somebody come and, take care of that. So, Jay, just appreciate you, everything you've done for us. And we've got a great system here that seems to be working well. And I'm glad you didn't leave before you got everything fixed. So, but thank you very much on that. Just a couple of announcements. Chairman of the Road Committee here, just wanted to let folks know, 71, I think they started Monday on repairing some bridge work there at the Moser road southbound. So I think they're still working on that. That's down to one lane. So, traffic's been backing up some on 71, which isn't unusual. But also, Judge, I think you posted yesterday that the 393 to 22, they're working this week repaving that, and hopefully have that done by Friday. And then they're going from there to LaGrange here at 146, from 146 north to 42 to repave that. So that'll probably be next week. So just kind of watch when you're out, driving around the county here. So that's all I have, Judge.
All right, Magistrate Woosley.
Judge, I just want to mention at least one, folks. When you hear Crockett, that's a name that's been around LaGrange for a really long time. Yesterday was Charles Robert Crockett's 100th birthday. He was born here in LaGrange. He served the America in the Navy. So I just want to wish him a happy birthday, happy 100th birthday. I want to thank the court for supporting the change order today on the Highway 393 and the Allen Lane underpasses. Those two projects are probably the biggest projects in Oldham County outside of 71 that really need to be completed. And I'm really happy to hear that they're moving Highway 393 project up to October so that we can get both of those completed. Finally, Dominic Cedillo is he's the District 3 resident, but he was recently appointed as the 4th District School Board member to fill that vacancy. So I just want to congratulate him, wish him well. That's all I got, Judge.
Magistrate Tice.
Yes, I also want to say thank you to Jay for all the stuff he's done for us, but also all the stuff he's done for the citizens of Oldham County to be able to stay at home, watch the court, and made life a little more convenient for that. Hopefully the last thing he'll do before he leaves is fix my mic. It's worked great until this afternoon, and I came in. It was broken, and it's disconnected. So thank you, Jay.
Magistrate Likens.
Thank you, Judge. I sure miss these microphones squealing and carrying on, though, because I remember all that from years back. Just wanted to mention today for the listeners that I'm retired. I don't like to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning to get to Frankfurt to go to opens records and open meetings requests and ethics training today. And we have 2 days next week for the Department of the Governor's local issues down at the Galt House. So there's a lot that happens with the magistrates that the people or the viewers don't see that we have to stay up on. So just want to tell Jay we'll miss you, and thank you.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I have a couple.
Okay.
Can we
Go
circle
ahead.
back around? I did some searching on, we don't know how lucky we are that we're getting 2 underpasses in Oldham County. There's 212,000 crossings in the United States. I tried to get how many CSX, they wouldn't put their number out there, but they got 20,000 miles of railroad through the CSX area in the eastern United States. So for us to be able to get 2 crossings to go underneath, I think that says a lot to our state government, federal government, county government to push those through. So I truly want to thank everybody involved in that. Second, we have to do something with people running red lights and yellow lights going through intersections in this county. It is getting horrible. People are going to get killed. It just almost like instead of a yellow being a caution and slow down and stop, it's like how fast can I go to get through that intersection right now? So, I don't know what to do. Let's get the sheriff's department and our police department to start looking at this more. But I mean, it's just every day. It's just you can look at the red lights, and it might be 5 seconds for somebody goes through. So you better not run through a green light anymore because you got to look both ways to make sure there's not somebody coming through there on a red light. So anyway, that's just a thought to think about.
All right, thank you. Good thoughts. I wanted to let everybody know that our emergency management department recently has received an award as the most improved agency in Kentucky. That's from Kentucky's Emergency Management Association. So congratulations to Zach Wilt for achieving that award. That was a competitive circumstance, and I'm not exactly sure what was all involved in it, but we've been recognized for doing a good job there, and I appreciate that. I also want to mention a few weeks ago, maybe it was 2 months ago. I have to be careful how I describe time, but it's been in the last couple of months that we had a little contest about what to name the former Methodist church next door that we have remodeled into a community center. We had several names, and the winning name was Chapel 1888. So I'm having a sign made now to put out in front, and we're making that space available to community groups that would like to rent that space and use it during the weeks, day or evening, and maybe weekends. But it's ready to go. We've got, I don't know exactly how many tables. We've got 100 chairs if we're in there, and it's a nice facility, and we welcome people to come and see it and to use a Chapel 1888. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today, our whole crew, and it's good. Go ahead.
If somebody wanted to rent that, are they going to go through the parks, or are they going to go through your
Yes,
office?
they'd initially contact the Parks Department, and then they will contact Holly here to make final arrangements.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes, we do have a rental schedule that's been made. It's about 75% of what the city place charges. I don't want to say we're undercutting the competition, but this is a public facility, so we're trying to make it available at a reasonable cost. And so, with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All in favor, please say aye. Thank you.
Aye.